Hello, I'm Grace Kuriakanja, and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has unveiled a roadmap to rapidly develop artificial intelligence and cut bureaucratic red tape and ideological bias. Signing 3 executive orders, Trump wants to position the U.S. as the world leader in the AI race. The plan promises to build massive data centers and offer tech companies lighter export duties.
Naturally want U.S. dominance of the most powerful AI systems. And the strategy here isn't that the government is going to build more AI, but rather that the government is moving out of the way for Silicon Valley. This means things like removing onerous regulation and red tape seen as hindering progress, encouraging more open source and open weight models because closed AI systems are kind of seen as stifling competition and innovation. They're going to heavily push AI adoption in sectors like manufacturing, science, and defense. And they're also mandating that any AI used by the federal government must be free of top-down ideological bias. This essentially takes aim at what it calls woke AI. In this sense, the government isn't just buying models that work, they're also buying models that agree with their political philosophy, which means that AI systems might literally reflect different political regimes. On the flip side, removing a lot of regulatory friction could supercharge innovation, but potentially at a cost of proper guardrails. It's basically a classic move fast, break things moment, and the bet is that speed wins the race.
Trump's plan is a sharp turn from his predecessor Joe Biden's more cautionary approach. Instead of focusing on risk and regulation, it focuses on few guardrails and accelerated growth. It's about beating China in the global AI race, and some say rewarding Silicon Valley's tech bros that backed him during the campaign trail. Showing up at his high-profile events and donating money seems to be paying off with policies that favor them.
Silicon Valley just wrote Trump's AI rules. Are you okay with that? No surprise here. Trump's already scrapped Biden's old AI rules, so this marks a full-on pivot to letting the private sector take the wheel. Now, if you lean pro-tech and pro-innovation, there's a lot to like here. Less red tape means American companies can build faster, ship faster, and outpace global competition. It's a shot in the arm for growth and jobs, especially in high tech. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This setup could hand even more power to the biggest names in tech. We're talking about a handful of mega corporations potentially locking down the AI space. That's not decentralization, that's the exact opposite. And with a few Silicon Valley billionaires pulling the strings behind the curtain, the whole thing starts to feel a bit like crony capitalism dressed up as innovation. So yeah, there's potential here, no doubt. But the question is, are we building the future for everyone, or just setting up new digital gatekeepers backed by Uncle Sam?
They call it to prevent wokeness in AI models, but actually what we know that means is to introduce right-wing ideas into these models, right? I mean, many of us have seen how Grok, the Twitter XAI model, like worshipped Hitler on social media recently, right? That was like a thing. That's coming down the pipeline. Right, and they're also going to even further deregulate the ability to where we build data centers and all these sorts of things, right? And so these are some of the things that are coming down the pipeline. The billionaires, the capitalists, they have their action plan for what they want to do to maximize their profit, to continue their domination of the working class, to dominate the entire world. We need to have our own action plan.
Now, just days before Trump laid out the new AI landscape, social media was abuzz about a series of AI-generated videos that were uploaded online, like the one you're seeing right now of former President Barack Obama being arrested in the Oval Office. Trump endorsed the fake video with a call for Obama to be arrested for treason, a crime punishable by death, alleging he plotted to lead a coup against him during his first presidency. He links Obama to the alleged Russian 2016 election meddling. Social media users say this video and many alike are reason enough to show that there needs to be more control on the use of AI. The health system in the U.S. is also having its fair share of blowback from AI. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration started using an AI tool called ELSA to speed up drug and device approvals. ELSA is supposed to help sort application data and perform basic tasks. However, CNN reports that the staff abandoned the tool, claiming it fabricates studies and misinterprets data and cannot access promised internal documents. The FDA now states that it's only used for non-critical tasks. In response, the Department of Health and Human Services states CNN's report is misleading and emphasized that ELSA is still under development with potential for future use. To Gaza now, where aid agencies say starving Palestinians are beginning to resemble walking corpses. More than 1 million children are bearing the brunt of deepening starvation and malnutrition as Israel continues to use starvation as a weapon of war. Aid convoys are bombed and desperate Palestinians are paying with their lives as they seek food from the controversial Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Israel denies that it's blocking supplies to the besieged territory, but let's look at what the situation is really like.
Israel claims it is not blocking aid into Gaza, and that it's the UN's fault that 950 aid trucks are stuck at the border. However, this claim is far from the truth. Israel has kept Gaza's border crossings shut since March 2nd. The amount of aid entering Gaza is only a trickle, far too little to meet the needs of the 2 million Palestinians trapped inside.
They are not letting in our trucks. So for 145 days and nights, we haven't gotten in anything.
Aid trucks cannot move freely into Gaza. Israel controls who can deliver food and where it can go.
We can see all the constraints and the impediments that the Israeli authorities are putting in place to prevent the rightful humanitarian organization to work in Gaza.
Aid warehouses are being bombed. Aid workers are being killed. Palestinians waiting to receive aid are either shot and killed or tear gassed to death by Israel.
Shot, killed, or injured while simply trying to find food. Absolutely no one should have to risk their lives for food.
More than 1,000 starving people have been reported killed since the end of May. The so-called DHF distribution schemes is a sadistic death trap.
Since October 2023, at least 111 Palestinians have died as a result of Israel's deliberate starvation campaign. If all of this is not blocking aid, if this is not the weaponization of hunger, what is?
Kemi Badenoch, leader of the UK Conservative Party, is facing backlash in Nigeria following remarks she made that insinuated Abuja's laws discriminate against women. Appearing in an interview where she was contrasting the immigration policies of Nigeria and Britain, Kemi said it's virtually impossible to get Nigerian citizenship, adding that she has the citizenship by virtue of her parents, but can't give it to her children because she's a woman. See, Kemi was born in the UK to Nigerian parents who took her to Nigeria where she grew up before returning to the UK aged 16. Her remarks have been heavily criticized, even by the Nigerian government. The country's presidential aide, Dada Olusegun, called her out on X, asking,
Auntie Kemi Badenoch, why do you continue to lie against your motherland? Why this continuous, dangerous and desperate attempt to malign Nigeria? Chapter 3, Section 25 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution states that if a Nigerian woman is a citizen by birth, your children, whether born in Nigeria or abroad, are Nigerian citizens by descent, automatically under Section 25 of the Nigerian Constitution. This holds regardless of their father's nationality.
Perhaps one of the most prominent black women in British politics, Kemi is a controversial figure in Nigeria, largely due to her support for policies that make it more difficult for immigrants to get British citizenship. Critics accuse her of distancing herself from her roots to align more closely with the UK. Nigerians on social media are calling her out yet again.
Okay, fun fact, both Kemi and I are in our 40s, both born in London, both have British-Nigerian dual citizenship, and just like her, I got my Nigerian citizenship from my parents, and we both have 3 kids, and that is where the similarity does. My kids have Nigerian citizenship, and my sex and gender had jack all to do with it because that's not how it works. So the only reason Kemi's kids don't have Nigerian citizenship is because she doesn't want them to be Nigerian citizens.
Why lie? Because she's building a brand? Kemi isn't just misrepresenting Nigeria. She's actively feeding into the system that makes life harder for Nigerians abroad. She's not fighting for us, she's fighting against us. But here's the thing, no matter how fast she runs or how whitewashed her policies get, she will always be Nigerian. And it should be remembered that when it mattered, she didn't start with her people. She stood with power and she used it to shut the door behind her.
In an ever-evolving digital landscape, scammers continuously find innovative ways to con people. One wise guy, however, extended the concept further, crafting an elaborate foreign affairs fantasy. Indian police have arrested a man who ran a fake embassy out of a rented house near New Delhi. Besides posing as an ambassador, he also claimed to represent obscure micronations like Saborga or the fictional nation West Arctica. Police say they found fake seals from India's foreign ministry and nearly 30 other countries, plus doctors' photos of the suspect with world leaders. He is now under investigation for money laundering through overseas shell companies. Asians are known to be obsessed with fair skin. This has historical and classist roots, and over time, it has shaped beauty standards across the region. Chinese people, in particular, are known for taking this to the next level, wearing full face masks and full body swimwear to avoid sun exposure. But there is a burning truth for anyone who loves to avoid UV rays, and it actually does not matter if you're from China or anywhere else, because you can't shade yourself from the sun forever.
The viral face kidney is making Chinese girls tanner. A blogger cried, "I'm one of the first victims of sun shield mask. I religiously cover every inch of my skin, but now my face is the tannest part of me, sobs." According to experts, this might not be sun tanning, rather heat-inducing darkening. Exposure to 42 degrees Celsius heat stress can increase the activity of a key melanin-producing enzyme at 115%, even higher than the 108% caused by UVB rays. Overdoing sun protection may also lead to vitamin D deficiency, impairing calcium absorption, and increasing osteoporosis risk. Your underwear and clothes are breathable, but these masks trap heat and stifle your exhaled air, creating a sauna effect on your face.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.